This is Channel 8 News at 4:30.
Now at 4:30, firing up prices. How the latest developments in the war in Iran could be jeopardizing the ceasefire and driving up the cost of gas. And abortion pill access. The Supreme Court makes a decision over a controversial ruling to ban a medication used for abortions. Then cats under control, the big milestone at the Beatrice Humane Society after years of fighting a stray feline problem in the community. And we begin with the war in Iran and tensions threatening the ceasefire. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us at 4:30. I'm Mackenzie Johnson. The ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran appears to be at a breaking point as the United Arab Emirates says it's being attacked by Iranian missiles and drones. ABC's Christian Cordero brings us up to speed.
Iranian state media claims this video shows them firing warning shots against the U.S. Navy. ABC News has not independently verified the video. And today, the United Arab Emirates says its air defense systems are shooting down incoming Iranian missiles and drones. The UAE's defense ministry says one Iranian drone sparked a fire at a major oil facility. In another test of the ceasefire, the U.S. military says it sunk 6 Iranian small boats and brought down multiple cruise missiles and drones, alleging they were targeting commercial ships and the U.S. military. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson told its state media today the regime has no enmity toward Persian Gulf states. The back and forth comes as the U.S. and Iran each try to assert greater control over the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump vows the U.S. military will help guide commercial vessels through the strait away from potential sea mines. In doing so, the head of U.S. Central Command says 2 U.S.-flagged ships made it through the strait under U.S. military protection, despite warnings from Iran that unauthorized movement there would lead to attacks.
There are others who are en route to take advantage of the passageway. So that's great news there. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of enthusiasm to be able to move out among the 87 countries impacted by this.
ABC News asked if the ceasefire has been violated and if the president will respond with new strikes on Iran, but the White House has not responded. With the future of the war unclear, President Trump insists negotiations are ongoing, though rejected Iran's latest proposal.
It has some things that are just not going to happen. For example, the U.S. is not going to pay Iran for the damage that was done during the air campaign, nor is the U.S. going to agree to pull out all of its forces from the region.
The shipping community does not seem convinced of the administration's attempts to help commercial vessels navigate through the strait safely. One maritime insurance company told ABC News it has received no guidance regarding the administration's plans. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
For Channel 8 News, I'm Adrian Ward. A massive increase in gas prices over the last week here in Lincoln. Gas Buddy's latest report out this morning says that Lincoln is now averaging over $4 for a gallon of gas. That's up more than 25% from a week ago and 65 cents higher in the last month. You can see $4.09 a gallon in this video submitted by citizen journalist Brian on our Now Local News app. A good chunk of the city is seeing $3.99 a gallon as well, as you can see in these videos. Gas Buddy says Nebraska's average is at $3.95 a gallon, while the national average sits at $4.42. Experts say new developments overseas could help ease the rising costs, but there's still too much uncertainty to know for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely something we'll be keeping an eye on. New details now. The U.S. Supreme Court is restoring widespread access to a controversial abortion medication. They're reinstating the mailing of the mifepristone pill for women across the country. The order signed by Justice Samuel Alito temporarily allows women to get the pill at pharmacies or through the mail without an in-person visit to a doctor. A previous ruling by a federal appeals court on Friday had restricted access to the drug by mail. Most abortions in the U.S. are done using a combination of mifepristone and a second drug. Well, a big warm up around Lincoln to start off our work week. Let's see if it'll stay this warm going forward. Rusty, what do you think?
Nope, not gonna happen. Yeah, temperatures today very summer-like, lower and middle 80s for southeast Nebraska. Now, depending on where you're at, further north and west you went, the much different the temperatures were. But mainly because there's a cold front right here, and everything generally further north colder, and there's a little light rain, much needed. It's not a lot, but we'll take what we can get. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, we've got the flag flying about with some clouds increasing on our Honda of Lincoln cam. We're at 79 degrees. We did top out in the middle 80s today in the capital city. The wind out of the north at 20 miles per hour, gusting to around 28 miles per hour. So there's the cooler air, 60s. 58 in O'Neill, and very close to 80 for many spots in the southern half of the state. 85 in Hebron is one of the warmer spots. We'll say 79 in Lincoln, 75 in York. Tonight, temperatures will eventually drop into the 40s by early tomorrow morning, and that wind will start to diminish as we head through the overnight. The rest of the forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Rusty. Let's take a live look now at some roads around Lincoln. This is a picture from I-80 near Superior Street in North Lincoln. NDOT says they're going to start some road work tomorrow at 9 a.m. in this area. Crews are doing bridge maintenance until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And for that, the right lane will be closed. But for now, everything looks like it's moving through pretty smoothly. At this hour, there's a golden opportunity for firefighters all across Nebraska. Heartland Fire Protection is taking applications for a 2026 spring contest for Nebraska fire departments. It's offering departments the chance to win a free inspection of their cylinders, which helps them breathe safely in the high temperatures that they have to fight through. Organizers say the participants can get up to 15 cylinders tested at Heartland Fire Protection in Norfolk. Only on 8, the Beatrice community is potentially breaking free of a stray cat problem, and those who have been fighting for change say the program is proving successful.
Good afternoon. I'm in Norwood. I'm reporting here in Beatrice, right outside of the Beatrice Humane Society low-cost spay and neuter vet clinic. Now, for several years, they have been working hard to spay and neuter stray cats as they've had a bit of a stray cat problem. That is, they've seen thousands across Gage County and in southeast Nebraska, which affects the community tremendously. Coming up tonight at 5 and 6 o'clock, the executive director of Beatrice Humane Society tells me they saw 0 kittens come in for the month of April, meaning that their hard work is finally paying off. She talks about how this feels after so many years, and she also talks about the future and how they are hoping it will continue helping the good of the community.
Right now, UNL's police department is starting the search for a new leader. Chief Hassan Ramza is retiring after a decade of service there. He joined UNLPD back in 2016 as assistant chief before officially being named chief in 2020. His 10 years at UNL are just one chapter in his 42-year-long career in law enforcement. Assistant Chief of Police Marty Feringer will be the interim chief as the university conducts a search for a full-time person to fill the position. The university is hosting a retirement reception in Ramza's honor. That'll be on May 21st from 4 to 6 p.m. and it's open to the public. When we come back after the break, first serve set. The Husker volleyball team finds out who they'll face this fall. Nate Johnson will tell us the matchups you'll want to mark down on your calendar. Plus, new at 5, project in the pipeline. Construction work is kicking off at Memorial Stadium. What you can expect to see and which streets will be impacted. Stay with us.
at that home and away schedule for Nebraska. I love seeing USC and Wisconsin on that list. No Penn State, though, at home. The Nittany Lions not coming to Lincoln this season. However, the Huskers will travel to PA and out west to Oregon and Washington. No road trip to Madison, though, this season. But that's an early look to the 2026 season. The Big Ten, always such a tough volleyball conference. Really excited to see how the Big Ten tournament will look later this year. We'll see you back here in the Sports Zone for more. For now, though, Mackenzie, will send things back over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. Definitely gets me excited to watch some volleyball soon. New at 4:30, a popular historic spot in Nebraska is raising the cost to come in. The Durham Museum in Omaha announcing they're raising their membership and admission fees by up to $10. The museum is known for its year-round exhibitions portraying important historical and cultural events. And they say they're increasing prices to keep up with their financial obligations. They say admissions will now cost between $10 and $17, but it will stay free for kids who are 0 to 2 years old. The complete list of the new membership cost is right there on your screen right now. The new fees will be effective starting on the 23rd of May. Time now for our full forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Rusty, it's kind of hot out there.
Do not get used to that. Temperatures are going to change fairly quickly, too. Tomorrow is going to be a very different feel to the atmosphere. But outside right now, a little bit of shake to the camera, some wind still blowing around. That will die off as we head through tonight. What looks like kind of, if you look at the sky, it looks blue, but there's plenty of cloud cover out there on our ABC Seamless Cam. And still, traffic going just fine, even though there's orange everywhere. I wonder how long that construction's going to last. Anyway, precipitation over the last several months, still below where we should be in Lincoln anyway. We're at 4.08. We should be at 6, almost 6.5. So we're about 2 3/4 inch below, and probably no surprise to anybody. It's even worse the further west you go. So we still need the rainfall. There is some in the forecast, though. Temperatures over the last 24 hours, a little up and down. Yesterday was such a nice day. Oh, I'm so glad it was a Sunday, too. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy yesterday, and temperatures in the middle 70s. And then we dropped into the middle 40s early this morning, and then bounced up into the 83-degree range for a high today. I think we topped out at 84 earlier this afternoon, and now we're starting to cool back down. And I think we'll drop into the 40s after midnight at some point. I think 53 by 2 a.m. Still in the upper 70s by 6 p.m. Still a little windy, but notice the wind does eventually diminish out of the north and northeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Into the lower 50s by 2 a.m. and I think into the 40s by early tomorrow morning. There is a cold front right there. It's not a very strong one, but it's enough to give us some showers, and then a little boundary over here just on this side of Denver. Now everything's going to try to meet in the middle, so we have chances for rain, but it doesn't look like a whole lot. There's the little bit of a line right there from O'Neill over towards Valentine, Shattered, maybe even Scottsbluff a little bit, and then this over here in the northeastern corner of Colorado will try to move out. So here's what it looks like as we head through tonight. A spot sprinkle here and there, but I think most of it will just be mostly cloudy. Here comes the rain chance. I think in central and south central and southeast Nebraska from about, well, just after sunset and beyond. About right there's our best chance around midnight for southeast Nebraska into the 1, 2, 3 o'clock time frame, and more rain off to the west. That dives to the south. They could even see some snow in parts of the panhandle very early Tuesday morning. So it's not abnormal, just kind of strange. But more forecast details coming up at 5, 6, and 10.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Rusty. And now let's take another live look at the roads. This is the intersection of 17th and O Streets. Looks like maybe a little bit of orange construction cones down on the right-hand side of your screen at the bottom. So maybe a little bit of traffic back up in the area. But for now, it looks like everyone's moving pretty smoothly through the area. And if you're heading home from work, not much you're going to run into in this area. Now to a collision caught on camera in New Jersey. A United airplane carrying hundreds of passengers hit a truck and a light pole while landing. ABC's Rena Roy has the details.
Terrifying dash camera video shows a bakery delivery truck driver traveling along the New Jersey Turnpike when suddenly a commercial plane slams right into him. Debris flying everywhere. United Flight 169 packed with more than 230 people on board from Venice, Italy.
Holy, oh my goodness.
The aircraft flying close to traffic below at around 2 p.m. Sunday as it came in for landing at Newark Liberty International Airport.
Did you see all that wind? Oh my goodness.
The aircraft also striking a light pole as it made its final approach to the runway.
This aircraft was literally inches from disaster.
The driver inside that truck, identified by his employer as Warren Boardley, who was on his way to deliver products at the airport. He was taken to the hospital where he was treated and released for minor injuries. United says the aircraft landed safely and there were no injuries on board, telling ABC News it will conduct a rigorous flight safety investigation, adding our crew has been removed from service as part of the process. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy speaking to Fox News today about the incident.
And what could have happened is there was gusty winds yesterday, and again, I don't want to speculate, but I guess I will right now with you for a moment. If the plane was too low and he flared up, that tail will come down.
United has been ordered to secure the cockpit voice and flight data recorders as part of the NTSB's investigation, which will examine multiple factors, including flight operations, weather conditions, plus human and air traffic performance. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Time now for a look at what's trending on our website, klkntv.com. Here's Channel 8's Mark Fisher.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Mark Fisher, and we're back with another segment of what's trending on klkntv.com. First up, Lincoln's average for a gallon of gas has now reached the $4 threshold. According to Gas Buddy, the average to fill up at the pump is now at $4.01 a gallon. That's up 25.5 cents from last week and nearly 65 cents higher than it was a month ago. Several of Channel 8's citizen journalists have shown us prices at more than $4 a gallon on our Now Local News app. Lincoln is definitely one of the higher spots to pay for gas in the state. According to Gas Buddy, the company reports that Nebraska's state average is now at $3.95 a gallon. Gas Buddy reports the national average is up to $4.42 a gallon. Also getting clicks after Painted Tree Boutiques left several vendors without a storefront. One business stepped up to help. Creative Collabs in Nebraska hosted a vendor market on Sunday, providing nearly 50 small businesses with a free space to sell and rebuild. Vendors filled the parking lot in front of Creative Collabs, which is off of Normandy Court. The community rallied behind the vendors, sparking emotions for many who were left with nowhere to go in April. Sunday wasn't just another vendor market. Creative Collabs took the unfortunate closure of Painted Tree and turned it into a community-wide showcasing of hope. Several of the vendors said sales have increased due to the market and the exposure it brought. You can read about these stories and much more on our website at klkntv.com, but for now, we'll be back right here tomorrow with more trending stories.
Coming up after the break, Spears pleads guilty. We have new developments in the latest DUI troubles facing Britney Spears. The pop superstar pleading guilty in her DUI case, getting a lesser charge and avoiding jail time. It stems from an incident last month when prosecutors accused her of driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs. ABC's Melissa Adon has the details.
A guilty plea in court today from pop superstar Britney Spears, charged with driving under the influence. A lawyer for Spears entered the guilty plea to a lesser charge of reckless driving. The move avoiding a trial and jail time.
I don't think anybody's happy about pleading guilty to anything.
Spears' defense attorney telling reporters outside of the Southern California courthouse that Britney is doing well under the circumstances and hopes to get this situation behind her. The California Highway Patrol says officers pulled Spears over in Ventura County in March for erratic driving and suspicion of being intoxicated with both drugs and alcohol.
One of the key components of the disposition this morning was to make sure that Miss Spears continued to undergo her mental health and substance abuse treatment regimen.
The judge ruling a year of probation plus a required DUI class and fines.
If she violates any of those conditions, she could find herself back in court with greater repercussions and greater punishments.
A representative for Spears previously confirmed the 44-year-old superstar voluntarily checked herself into a rehab facility after her arrest. As part of the plea, Spears is also required to meet with doctors to help her mental health. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, what a warm day out there it is on Monday. I hear, though, it might cool down a little bit. Rusty, when's that cool down coming?
It'll start early tomorrow morning. We'll see temperatures in the 30s and 40s. I think most of southeastern Nebraska should be in the middle and upper 40s, but we don't warm up much. We'll probably tack on maybe 10 or 12 degrees as we head through tomorrow afternoon. So high temperatures, look at this, barely making it into the lower 40s in the Panhandle. So a chilly day out there. Lower 50s, middle 50s, and maybe 60 degrees.
Most lawyers who market for personal injury cases have literally never taken an injury case to trial. The insurance industry knows that we're not afraid of taking cases to trial when necessary. Call Friedman Law, 402-476-1093.
All at once, the whole state knows it's time. Every seat is filled. Every screen is on. Everyone's watching. Even when it's quiet, it's all
we are.
Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, fire in the ceasefire. President Trump announcing a new military operation. Iran attacks the UAE. Why we're seeing a spike of activity overseas. Also tonight, distilling after disaster.
The response has been fantastic. It goes to a great cause.
How Grand Island firefighters are providing disaster relief through bourbon. Save the date. The Big Ten announces this season's volleyball matchups. How tough this year will be for the Huskers coming off an historic run. And an only on 8 exclusive, kitten control.
We have really started solving our community's cat overpopulation problem.
Why the Beatrice Humane Society is calling one of their recent initiatives a massive success. And that's where we begin tonight. Only on 8, a big step forward in solving a cat crisis.
This year, it was 0 kittens in the month of April, and that's just such an incredible change.
Gage County struggling with a surge in stray cats for several years, but now the Beatrice Humane Society says all of the hard work is paying off. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on this Monday night. I'm Rod Fowler. For the first time in the history of their organization, Beatrice Humane Society is seeing fewer kittens actually come in. Channel 8's Emma Norwood joins us after speaking with the executive director about the impact this has. Emma.
Good evening, Rod. I'm going to take you back to 2023 for a second here, when the spay, neuter, and release program first started. Now you can see here the Humane Society saw 24 kittens come in that year needing care. And finally, for the first time ever, in April, their office stayed empty, bettering the community and benefiting so many.
The last couple of years, we've averaged between 3,000 and 3,500 cat spays per year through our low-cost spay-neuter clinic, which is incredible.
Thousands of stray cats roaming the streets in Gage County for years, creating issues of all kinds for the community. Those now coming to an end after countless hours, thanks to the Beatrice Humane Society's Trap, Neuter, and Release program.
We've been working really hard, locally, and now we're starting to see that kind of spread out, and it's really cool to see the outcome be that we are actually decreasing the number of kittens that are coming into our communities.
Because of how many cats they've been able to treat, for the first time ever, the Humane Society taking in 0 kittens in the month of April, proving the success of the TNR program and showcasing all of the hard work teams have put in.
To be honest, it makes me want to cry a little bit. This has been a real passion of love for us as an organization. It is incredible to finally start seeing that pay off. As an organization, this has been a real challenge.
By solving the overpopulation and reproduction of the stray cats, and now finally seeing results, the community is reaping the benefits.
Now to see the payoff is really rewarding, and to hear some of the people in the community that were previously naysayers of the program turn around and all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, spaying and neutering is the way to go. It's just it's the brightest light that we have. Like, it just really does speak so much to how important this program is, and how much it can bring our community back together in a time that everything feels so divided.
And due to the low number of kittens being brought in, the Humane Society says they also have plenty of adoption capacity, meaning more animals can find their forever homes. Reporting here in the studio, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
All right. Thank you very much, Emma. The Big Ten announcing Nebraska volleyball's home and away opponents for 2026 with the addition of the Big Ten Conference Tournament, which will appear for the first time in 2026. Teams will play 17 regular season conference matches instead of 20. For how things are shaping up this fall, let's check in with Channel 8 Sports Director Nate Johnson, who joins us here in the studio. Nate.
Hey, thank you, Rod. And let's take a look at Nebraska's opponent rotations for 2026, which will look a little different. As Rod just mentioned, the Big Ten will have a conference tournament this season, so that changes the regular season a little bit, going to 17 conference matchups instead of the usual 20. Nebraska will play 9 Big Ten home matches and 8 away matches this fall. The Huskers' 9 home matches will be against Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Ohio State, Purdue, Rutgers, UCLA, USC, and Wisconsin. The Huskers' 8 away matches will be against Indiana, Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Northwestern, Oregon, Penn State, and Washington. Now, these rotations will operate on a 2-year cycle, so Nebraska's home and away matches will flip for 2027. And looking at the home and away opponents for Nebraska, you know, I love seeing USC and Wisconsin on that list. No Penn State, though. The Nittany Lions not coming to Lincoln this season. However, the Huskers will travel to PA and go out west to Oregon and Washington. No road trip to Madison, though, this season, but that's an early look at the 2026 year. The Big Ten, always such a fun volleyball conference. Really excited to see how the Big Ten tournament will look this season, though. We'll see you back here in the Sports Zone at 6 for more. For now, though, Rod, we'll send things back over to you.
Thank you, Nate. Let's talk about your weather now. Get to your first forecast on this Monday evening. We have a live look from our Barry Law camera here at the station. A sunny and very warm day. In fact, some would probably say it was kind of hot. Sounds though some changes are coming. Let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins for the latest on that. Rusty.
Yeah, it's that time of year where the weather can change on a dime, and that's basically what's going to happen as we head through the next 24 hours. Tomorrow will feel very different than today. Outside right now, it is a little windy with a Honda of Lincoln Cam showing the flag fluttering about at 27th and Yankee Hill Road. An increase in cloud cover, too. That did cool us off a few degrees. We were at 86. Let's see, no, 84. We were at 84 1 o'clock this afternoon, and now we're back down to 75 as the frontal boundary gets closer. Now, a little light rain is going to be possible for north central and northeast Nebraska for the next few hours. That will try to eventually make its way south and southeast, and then another system off to the west and southwest towards Colorado there. That'll try to make its presence known too. So we've got some chances for rainfall. They're just not really good chances. 56 right now in Chadron compared to 82 in Hebron. So obviously things are changing up with 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s for current temperatures as of 5 o'clock this afternoon. A bit of a breeze out of the north at 10 to 25 miles per hour. Here's what it looks like for stormcast. Again, not a whole lot out there, but a sprinkle or a shower a possibility, especially the further west you go. And that seems to want to change over to maybe a little light snow. Notice the blue showing up in far southwestern Nebraska in the Panhandle. But most of the rest of the state, just a sprinkle or a light rain shower here and there, and much cooler temperatures. We'll talk about how cold in a few minutes.
Thank you, Rusty. Breaking now, shots fired near the White House in Washington, D.C. Behind me, you can see a real-time feed of the scene. The White House, which was briefly placed in a lockdown less than an hour ago, just a few blocks away from the White House, one person was shot by an officer. Details are slim at this point, but this is what we know. The shooting involved a U.S. Secret Service member, and the man he shot is alive but injured. The shooting happening near the Washington Monument, just over a half a mile away from the White House. We do not know what prompted the shooting yet, but we'll keep you updated, of course, as soon as we learn more. The war in Iran reopening with air attacks into the United Arab Emirates. Iran launching these attacks today, being met with the UAE's air defense systems. This coming with President Trump's announcement of Project Freedom, a new military plan in the Strait of Hormuz. Channel 8's Meg West joins us now in the newsroom to help break this down and the spike in activity that we're seeing overseas. Meg?
Good evening, Rod. Yes, the strikes on the UAE mark the first time that Iran has significantly attacked any Gulf state since the ceasefire began about a month ago. Now this comes as the U.S. is reporting that they just sunk 6 Iranian boats in the Strait of Hormuz, which is creating more tension in an ever-changing war. The UAE's defense military says it has engaged with 15 Iranian missiles and 4 drones. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson telling state media that the regime has no hostility toward Persian Gulf states, but will defend themselves. This as the U.S. and Iran fight for control of the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. military will guide commercial vessels through the strait as part of the president's newly announced Project Freedom.
There are others who are en route to take advantage of the passageway. So that's great news there. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of enthusiasm to be able to move out among the 87 countries impacted by this.
Central Command posting on X saying 2 U.S. flagged ships have safely made it through the strait under American protection, saying American forces are actively assisting commercial ships passing through the strait. In another post, CENTCOM saying they are using helicopters to support Project Freedom, recently used to eliminate Iranian small boats threatening commercial shipping. The path forward remains uncertain. President Trump has rejected Iran's latest peace proposal, but says negotiations are still underway.
It has some things that are just not going to happen. For example, the U.S. is not going to pay Iran for the damage that was done during the air campaign, nor is the U.S. going to agree to pull out all of its forces from the region.
The president posting on Truth Social that Iran is taking shots at ships from countries not involved in the conflict, something he says violates Project Freedom. Today, the Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson says Tehran has received a U.S. counterproposal to end the war, and they are currently reviewing it. In the newsroom, Meg West, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Meg. And as this war drags on, gas prices keep climbing here in the U.S. Citizen journalist Brian sending us these videos into our Now Local News app. The Super C is up to $4.09 a gallon. One of the first gas stations we're seeing here in Lincoln with prices over $4. He's also giving us a comparison of Sam's Club membership pricing from 1 year ago. They were $2.79 a gallon last year. And as you saw in that video at Sam's Club, also near $4 today. And Brent crude oil prices were up 5% today, right there at $114 a barrel. U.S. stocks also slipping as the Middle East attacks escalate. NASDAQ and the S&P down 0.5% or less, and the Dow losing a little more than 1%. Well, stay with us. We have more stories after the break and a whole lot more information to share with you at 6 o'clock, including Safe to Sip. LTU releases its annual drinking water quality report. How safe they're saying tap water is this year. And coming up after the break, cheers to firefighters. How Grand Island firefighters are raising money for disaster relief through bourbon. Stay with us. Right now, Grand Island firefighters are getting creative to help the community. They're starting a fundraiser that aims to help families through an unusual way, you could say, with bourbon. Mackenzie Johnson joins us here in the studio after speaking with the firefighters about their big boozy idea. Mackenzie?
Rod, from whiskey to wholesome help, the Firefighters Union in Grand Island is finding a fun way to get community members involved in charity. And it all begins with this bourbon here. A group of firefighters traveled out to Iowa to select a barrel of this limited release bourbon whiskey. They're going to sell bottles of this whiskey along with glasses and flight boards, and all the money is going to help support people in the community. They donate to charities, and they can also use that money to pay for a few nights in a hotel for some families if their homes are burned.
Anybody can do, just ask for donations. For us, this was a great opportunity to get some of the members of our local involved in something that they're, there's one of their interests, one of their passions, and it's able to make a huge impact in our community. So.
In just the past 24 hours or so, they've already sold between 30 and 40 bottles of the bourbon. Tonight at 10, hear how you can try some of the whiskey and how much money they're hoping to raise by the time the barrel runs dry. Reporting in the studio, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
All right. Thank you, Mackenzie. An important Lincoln City Council public hearing is happening tonight. People are giving their 2 cents on a proposal to maintain the voter-approved minimum wage standard that was set back in 2022. Well, earlier this year, state senators approved a bill allowing lower wages for younger workers and capping how much minimum wage can go up each year. We'll be listening in on the hearing tonight and hear from both sides tonight at 10 o'clock. New at 5, York County is renewing contracts for care to abandoned pioneer cemeteries. These contracts are with just 2 individuals who provide care for 2 abandoned cemeteries. The board approved $900 for mowing and upkeep at each of them. Now, state law says they can't spend more than $1,000 each. That's why a request for extra money to repair gates and fences for the cemeteries had to be turned down. Also new at 5, the Friendship Hope of Lincoln needs materials for their garden project. They're organizing an opportunity for residents there to plant a garden at their shelter. The items listed on your screen is what they need. If you have any of these gardening supplies and want to help them out, you can drop them off at their shelter through tomorrow.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Mother Nature loves to even things out eventually, and that's what she's going to do over the next 2 days. We're way above average for our high today. Tomorrow will be well below average, but we'll even out. 84 degrees for a high so far today. 71 is normal, so 13 degrees. And really, we were only 7 degrees away from that record high set back in 1952. The record moisture for this day is 2.5 inches of rain, which fell back in one day in 1959. Here's your Barry Law camera looking towards a very greened up, at least for the most part, view from our Barry Law cam towards downtown Lincoln. It's still warm out there, though. We've got 75 degrees. We topped out about 10 degrees warmer, but look at the cold air funneling in. 56 in Chadron right now, 59 Thedford, 68 in Broken Bow, 72 Grand Island, and 75 in Lincoln. Still in the 80s, still 86 in Falls City, 81 Nebraska City, 82 in Beatrice and Hebron. So warmer to the south and east, much cooler to the north and west. And guess what's headed our way? The wind is out of the north at anywhere from 9 to 26 miles per hour. And it's a little breezy for everybody. This wind will die off as we head through tonight, but right now it's gusting between 25 and 35 miles per hour. So not obscene for the wind gust, but still, it's you notice it, especially if you're probably driving from west to east or east to west. You probably have to hang onto the wheel just a little bit. So that cold front sparking just a few showers. A lot of this not quite getting to the ground. It'll try, but I think it'll eventually fizzle out a little bit. Unfortunately, we need the rain, but we're just hard pressed to get it. But this is what the remnants of what's up to the north will linger with a shower or two in parts of Nebraska, maybe a spot shower or storm, maybe. This all kind of spreads out, and we may see a few sprinkles roll through Interstate 80, and then an interesting storm system off to the west. Most of that, I'm just going to stand over here because I'm going to try to stay as far away from the snow as I can. Yeah, they could see significant snowfall in parts of Wyoming and Colorado. They're calling for 1 or 2 feet of snow in the upper elevations of Colorado, which is not abnormal either for this time of year. But still, some of that snow may make it into western Nebraska in the Panhandle. Won't amount to much, but they'll take every drop of moisture they can absolutely get. But notice it tries to get over here as we head through Tuesday into Tuesday night. A spot shower to a possibility. The better chance will be further west. How much are we talking? Again, we might see 1/100th to a 1/10 of an inch in south central and southeast Nebraska, but way more, maybe over an inch of rainfall on the other side of Ogallala. And again, they'll take every single drop. Tonight, temperatures about normal, the middle and upper 40s, but highs tomorrow struggling. We should be in the lower 70s. We'll be in the lower 50s in some spots. We'll try for the lower 60s. I just don't think we'll make it Tuesday afternoon. So rain possible on Tuesday. Again, the further west you go, the better chance you get. 58 and 61. And this, I may be a little optimistic on the 61 on Wednesday. We may not get out of the 50s on Wednesday, but then we warm back up Thursday and Friday. A couple of really nice days there. I will point out early Thursday morning, though, 37 degrees. Might see a little frost in some spots. Then storms become possible as we head into the weekend, which is Mother's Day weekend. I'm not sure why Mother Nature decided that was a good idea. And then back into the 80s next week.
All right, thank you, Rusty. New tonight, the city of Columbus sharing their new city seal. This here is their new stamp of identity. They're extra excited because the seal wasn't designed by just anyone. It was done by a lifelong Columbus resident. Jennifer Davila designed the seal after a community-driven process that started late last year. The city sifted through submissions until they selected hers. It has meaningful elements of the city, like the river and the Loop River Bridge. When asked about why she made the seal, Davila said she plans on staying in Columbus her whole life and wanted to create something she'll be part of. And the B.O. Slough Disc Golf Course is receiving some national recognition. UDisc is ranking it as the 73rd best course in the world out of 17,000 courses globally. It's B.O. Slough's third consecutive ranking on their list. The director of Parks and Rec says the ranking is an honor and a reflection of the strong, growing disc golf community in Lincoln and across Nebraska. Well, stay with us. We have more for you ready after the break and a fresh batch of stories in our 6 o'clock show, including Renovation Begins. Work is underway for the $600 million Memorial Stadium renovation plan. What to look out for while you're making your way through the city during construction. We'll be right back.
After a very mild day today, we are going to start to cool down a little bit starting on Tuesday. Rain chances increase too. We need that. Snow out west? I don't know if we need that, but warmer by the end of the week. Storm Alert Team forecast tonight.
Welcome to Comfort Made Mattress Factory's new location at South Point. Every mattress is built right here just for you. Any size, any shape, any comfort level, and backed with our lifetime comfort guarantee. We'll come to your home and adjust your mattress, firmer, softer, or anything in between. Right now, save $100 off, free mattress protector, and free delivery. Come see us, Comfort Made Mattress Factory next to Shields, and let us build your perfect night's sleep.
I'm Roy Christensen, and I've been helping people hear better for over 30 years because here at Christensen Hearing Analytics, we believe that better hearing is better living. We have the solutions you need, so don't be left out of the conversation. Write the happy ending to your hearing story by contacting Christensen Hearing Analytics today.
As you examine the road ahead, are all your ducks in a row? Pre-planning with Butheris, Macer, and Love Funeral Home.
Your mom will enjoy sharing the excitement of the summer songbirds, visiting the backyard bird feeder you got her for Mother's Day from the Wild Bird Habitat stores. Shop their 33rd annual Mother's Day sale today and bring a little bit of nature into Mom's backyard.
Green's Furnace and Plumbing has continued to be your trusted, locally owned and operated plumbing and HVAC professionals for over 100 years because of you, our loyal customers.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Thank you, Lincoln. Thank you, Lincoln.
Whether it's through your plumbing or heating and air needs or giving back to the community like sponsoring Lincoln Youth Football and the Capital Humane Society, we look forward to continuing the tradition of our family serving your family.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Our American warriors are tough, determined, disciplined. They sacrifice their own well-being to defend our liberties, and they never leave the injured behind. Good? Yeah, brother. founded and operated by American veterans and patriots. We are a personal injury law firm bringing that warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
Oh, hey, Bill. Hi, John. Looking sharp. You're going to do great.
Grandpa!
Children's Nebraska. Believe in better.
New at 5, the McCool Junction Public School corporate office is left with some cleaning up to do. But check out these pictures they posted to their social media. The McCool seniors left sticky notes everywhere in the corporate office, covering the walls, the floors, the windows, you name it. Regardless, McCool is thanking their seniors, but whether the thanks is, I guess, for their effort in school or all the sticky notes remains unclear tonight. You know, you could take advantage of those sticky notes, put reminders on them. Get your money's worth. Go check on that wall over there, Charlie. I think I put a reminder on there for you, so go find it. But anyway, let's get a final check of the weather. Do you agree? I mean, some people were saying today, borderline calling it hot.
Yeah, today was very warm. Temperatures got, well, hang on, I got it right here. Grand Island, 79 degrees. That was at 11:30 this morning, and Lincoln made it to 84, which was only 7 degrees away from a record high. So yeah, it was warm. We'll call it hot, sure, why not? We have just a sprinkle or two in north central and northeast Nebraska. That will try to make it south and east. It's along that frontal boundary where there's much cooler air on the other side of that. Warmer air to the south and east, still in the 80s in Nebraska City, Beatrice, and Hebron. And you get cooler the further north you go. So can we get some rainfall in here? Doesn't look like it'll amount to much. We might see a spot shower in eastern Nebraska early tomorrow morning, and then the better chance for rain, they desperately need it out west, and that's where the better chance is overnight.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you so much for joining us. Don't go anywhere. World News is coming up next, and we'll be right back here for you at 6 o'clock.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen Hearing Analytics. From big moments to local victories, we're here for all the action. Sports stories that go beyond the scoreboard. Every team, every matchup, every night, we're on your sideline. Channel 8, bringing you Nebraska now.
ABC's lifetime seamless steel roofs lock out the harshest weather and provide permanent maintenance-free protection for your home. Protecting your home starts at the top. Learn more at abcofnebraska.com.
At Capital Humane Society, we know proper veterinary care is vital to keeping pets healthy and happy. Our mission is to serve the Lincoln community by providing resources for all pet owners. That's why we opened Stransky Veterinary Center at 55th and O Street. We offer preventative veterinary care, including low-cost spay and neuter surgeries, vaccinations, pet dental care, flea and tick protection, and more. Your pet will never be happier and healthier than after a visit with our professionals. Book an appointment online at stranskyveterinarycenter.com.
Hey, why are dishes always getting water spots?
From Culligan.com, hard water.
Mom!
Yeah.
Hey, Culligan.
Heard you've got water problems. We got you covered.
Request your free in-home water test today.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. It's engineered into every aspect of the GMC Sierra HD. So when the job is heavy, GMC Sierra HD reports for duty. Right now, get 4.9% APR on 2026 GMC Sierra heavy-duty models. We are professional grade.
Since 1959, Whitehead Oil Company has fueled the heartland, powering families, farms, and businesses with quality and care. From humble beginnings to a trusted name, our commitment has never changed. Service, reliability, and values that strengthen our communities. As America marks 250 years of independence, we're proud to do our part, keeping the heartland moving through our partnership with Phillips 66 and the customers we serve. Whitehead Oil Company and U-Stop convenience stores, fueling the heartland today, tomorrow, and for generations to come.
When I decided to redo my garage floor, I called the Garage Floor Company in Lincoln, and it made a huge difference. They use high-quality materials that protect the floor from cracks, stains, and everyday wear. Now it looks clean, bright, and totally refreshed. It's super easy to keep clean, and I know it's going to last for years. Whether it's for your home or business, they do solid, professional work. Call the Garage Floor Company today for your free estimate. You'll be glad you did.
Campbell's Nursery, homegrown and family-owned for over 100 years.
Tonight we have breaking news. Iran says it has fired warning shots at U.S. Navy ships. The ceasefire with Iran on the brink. President Trump speaking with ABC News just a short time ago. As Iran state media airs those shots toward U.S. Navy ships. Iran also accused tonight of attacking commercial vessels and Iranian missiles and drones attacking the UAE. The president and what he just told our John Carl. Also tonight, outside New York City at Newark Airport, the near disaster. The truck hit by a United passenger plane coming in for landing. At Newark Airport, the plane hitting a light pole as well. Tonight, experts say that passenger plane with more than 200 people on board, just inches from disaster. Breaking news near the White House tonight, the Secret Service shootout. Authorities say a suspect armed with a gun, the White House press room and North Lawn evacuated for a time, so Pierre Thomas standing by. The deadly car rampage, a driver slamming into a crowd in a busy shopping district. Tonight, trapped on a cruise ship. 3 dead from a suspected virus breaking out. 17 Americans among the passengers trapped.
We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people.
Tonight, that cruise ship looking for a place to dock. Tonight, the sudden shutdown of Spirit Airlines pointing to rising fuel costs during this war. So what now for passengers and for the 17,000 employees? There is breaking news tonight involving that bitter legal battle between actors Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. What just happened in this case? The disturbing images tonight, the small plane crashing into a building, 2 people killed. The frightening scene, a driver allegedly slamming into a gym, they say with explosive IEDs in the vehicle. Outside New York, the massive warehouse fire forcing evacuations. We have news tonight about Dolly Parton canceling all Las Vegas shows and what she's now revealed about her health. And tonight we remember one legendary Yankees broadcaster.
Yankees win!
36 years behind the mic, one of a kind.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with breaking news. The U.S. ceasefire with Iran is being severely tested tonight. Iran firing what it says are warning shots at U.S. Navy ships. And President Trump speaking with ABC News just a short time ago. Iran state media tonight airing images claiming to show the Iranian military firing those warning shots at U.S. ships near the Strait of Hormuz. It comes after President Trump announced the U.S. would now be helping to guide vessels through the strait. Iran also accused of attacking commercial vessels in the strait. And tonight, Iranian missiles and drones also attacking the UAE. Tonight, with gas prices in the U.S. soaring up more than 30 cents in the last week and up again today, John Carl tonight and what President Trump just told him about all of this.
Tonight, in week 10 of this war, the fragile ceasefire is teetering as Iran launches new attacks. Iranian state media broadcasting these images, claiming they show rockets firing warning shots at American destroyers attempting to enter the Strait of Hormuz. It came after President Trump announced that the U.S. will now help some of the 1,600 cargo ships and tankers stranded outside the strait, posting, "We will guide their ships safely out of these restricted waterways so they can freely and ably get on with their business." Today, the administration announced 2 U.S.-flagged commercial ships were able to make it through. But Iran responded with a defiant show of force, firing at American Navy vessels and a commercial South Korean ship. The head of Central Command, Admiral Brad Cooper, telling reporters the U.S. fought back, sinking 6 Iranian military boats.
The cruise missiles were going after both U.S. Navy ships, but mostly after commercial shipping. We defended both ourselves, and consistent with our commitment, we defended all the commercial ships.
But Iran didn't stop there. Video circulating on social media shows flames reaching toward the sky from an oil port in the United Arab Emirates after an Iranian strike, the first major attack since the ceasefire went into effect. The big question tonight, is the ceasefire collapsing? When I spoke with President Trump this afternoon, he downplayed Iran's attacks, insisting it was, quote, not heavy firing. When I asked him about the missiles fired at the UAE, he told me they were shot down for the most part. One got through, not huge damage. Trump says ships are moving through the strait and the war is going well.
It's working out very nicely.
But most Americans disagree. Our new ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll shows 61